Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sasha Farbach. Poland has faced a tense week with multiple security incidents ranging from the theft of Prime Minister Donald Tusk's family car to drone flights over the presidential palace, alongside heightened vigilance on the Belarus border amid Russian-Belarusian military exercises. Now, authorities are investigating potential links to foreign intelligence as well. With swift arrests and EU support for border closures highlight the nation's commitment to security. We'll discuss all this and analyze it with our guest, Paulina Piasecka, Terrorism Research Center Director at Civitas University. Thanks so much and welcome back to TVP World. Let's start with this car theft. How unusual is it for the Prime Minister's car to be stolen despite that 24-hour security window? This is quite serious, isn't it?
It's definitely serious, but what we do need to remember is the fact that the ownership of the car does not per se signify that the car is within the 24/7 visibility of the protection services. So probably the analysis of the whole incident would be strongly dependent on the operational details that would outline all of the security concerns and the circumstances under which the theft took place. Still, the very fact that something that belongs to and on which during, of course, driving it, the security and safety of the Prime Minister and his family might be dependent is very concerning.
Right. Now, on that concern, I want to jump in on that because we also have Mr. Szymoniak, so the coordinator of Poland's intelligence services, looking into this and also hinting at potential foreign involvement. So how serious is the situation? How much of a, in your expert opinion, are spies actually targeting potentially Polish authorities?
They definitely are. I'm very sorry to say that. I'm very sorry to... Okay, I'm not the bringer of the bad news. I'm the commentator of the bad news, but it's a fact. I mean, we might be just next to the front lines when it comes to the Russian aggression in Ukraine, but we're definitely on the front lines when it comes to the hybrid warfare and the covert operations that might target not only the critical infrastructure, but also other types of goals and other types of targets that would influence the political, social stability and the calmness of the Polish society, which would then be targeted at inducing panic and panicky reactions, both from the society and the government.
Mm-hmm. Now, jumping back to the car theft as well, I know that it was isolated. Let's hope it was an isolated incident, but from your expertise, how significant is this? I mean, we have an arrest of one person allegedly. Could this be just a lone wolf here, someone operating by themselves? Is this part of testing different parts of our security apparatus? How do you see it now, and what best steps do we take now to ensure that this doesn't happen again?
We definitely should treat it as if it were a part of the organized actions, at least when it comes to reaction by our authorities and the security institutions that are involved in the investigation. But we, as the commentators and the analysts, we do need to take into account the fact that the world is sometimes stranger than it might seem, and that it might in fact be a pure coincidence. But if it were to be a coincidence, then let's treat it as the sign from heaven, and let's be more alerted from this point on when it comes to various aspects of the security and safety of the most important people in Poland.
Mm-hmm. And I'm no expert here, but seeing certain incidents now, they almost appear like a pattern. If we also look at what happened on the skies above the Belvedere presidential palace as well, how do you assess that? Was that some kind of civilian error? Break us down for this. Was this something on purpose? How do you assess that incident, which all happened roughly around the same time?
This is actually quite concerning, especially taking into account the fact that we are living in a situation that has been brought to us by the incursion into the Polish territory of the Russian drones, the whole group of the Russian drones. And so we are particularly, maybe not vulnerable, but particularly careful when it comes to anything that might be a danger from the sky. It also comes at the time when we are witnessing the arrests of over 15 people throughout Europe that were involved in the terrorist but used by Russian authorities within the hybrid warfare framework story of the covert activities that were to target planes, civilian planes, among others, in Europe. And so when looking at the wider situation, it's almost impossible not to think about the fact that there is a maybe not very sudden, but not subtle either, increase in the number and intensity of various activities that are targeting either in the form of practice or connecting practice and connecting testing of our security system with building the tension and forcing our security system into this position of constant vigilance, which might lead to involvement and engagement of all of the possible assets of our security services and institutions.
I mean, it's tough to be critical here. I just want to ask a professional assessment. I mean, we're obviously reacting to all this. There's been a number of these things. If we're looking at a tense border situation with after the Zapad exercise, we had the drones, we've had all these different, like a list of these things with the Prime Minister's car, plus now the Belvedere Castle. In any way, is this a policy that the Polish Secret Services, the intel services, did they miss any warning signs here? Are they reactive? Is there a coherent strategy? I'm just curious how your assessment lies there.
See, the problem is that we can't actually answer those questions because we have absolutely no idea how many of those incidents, as you call them, were prevented. We know about those that came to the light because it was impossible to stop them before they happened, but there might be, and let's keep our fingers crossed that there were incidents that were prevented rather than reacted to after they happened. Also, what we need to remember in any sort of assessing of the activities of the secret services or other law enforcement institutions is the fact that our success in countering potential threat lies within this realm of 0% chance to strike against our society and our system, which is almost impossible to achieve. The success of our enemies lies within the realm of 1% of success. So they need to strike even once successfully and we feel defeated. They need to, say, steal one civilian car and we feel that our security services are ineffective. Our security services, on the other hand, have to prevent 100% of any attempts. And this is very important, mainly because of the fact that there is an important role in communicating all of this and also in reaching for the alliance with the public communication offices and public communication media and traditional media that do narrate the story on how the security system of the Republic of Poland is being built.
I also want to talk about, as you said, alliance. At the same time, we've had these Zapad exercises. They're over now. But obviously, there's a threat that exists with Belarus. That is one of those vulnerabilities, unfortunately. But if we're looking also now, that border closure continues, now received EU backing, that the EU now supports this. Coordination is vital. I'm just curious from your experience how much, I mean, Poland can't do it all alone. Now with EU backing, we obviously have Frontex involved. How do these institutions and the European angle help in countering any of these threats for the future?
Well, if we look back to the Polish-Belarusian border crisis from 2-3 years ago, we do remember, first and foremost, an immense potential for the communication crisis and the very tough internal struggle on how to organize this protection of the eastern border of Poland, which at the same time was and is eastern border of the European Union. Now, with the official involvement of the EU institutions, not only do we have this additional layer of expertise, potential technology transfer, but also the guarantee to an extent of protecting of the standards of both effectiveness but also human rights protection, which gives us added security on the variety of levels. Not only assuredness that yes, our partners stand fast and will support us. They give us the added value of the uniformity and conformity in confronting the threats. And also can lend us a helping hand when it comes to the operational and technological issues of the operation.
And just briefly to close now, looking at all this, obviously there's a heightened vigilance. So what could be next? Is this going to be a new norm that we see more of these incidents happen in the near future? And what can we do to prevent it?
I'm very, very sorry to confirm that, yes, I do think this is going to be a new everyday type of event. We will be facing the rising intensity of those attacks, especially with the changes in Ukraine and just freeing of the Russian assets, potential freeing of the Russian assets from within the Ukrainian territory. And when it comes to countering it, it's not only about investing and supporting our intelligence services, it's also about reaching to the people and reaching to our citizens and making sure that they're rather the partners within the national security system than the constantly critical reviewers.
All right. So I think your words, two operative words, constant vigilance on every level. Thank you so much. That was our guest here, Paulina Piasecka. Appreciate all those insights.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay tuned. Much more coming up right here on TVP World. Goodbye.